All right. Welcome to this video here where we will be discussing how to increase your confidence. We're going to be talking about the core principles of how to be more confident in your life. Now, just checking to see my microphone's working. Yes, it is. All right. Let's get into it. So, confidence is a very popular personal development topic, and it's something that many people struggle with. Just checking to see my setup is all working. Yes, it is. Okay. Confidence is something that many people struggle with. If you were to interview 100 people, you would probably see that a good 95% of them struggle with confidence. This is actually the main entry point for many people into the world of personal development. You feel like you're not confident enough, you're not able to talk to strangers in public, you're not able to ask for what you want. Maybe it's a raise at your job, maybe asking someone out on a date, maybe asking for money in a business deal. Confidence, if you really think about it, this is the main thing that allows you to create the life that you want to live. If you're not confident in yourself, what that means is you're basically unable to go after what you want, and you're unable to create the life that you want. So this is something that everyone struggles with, and you really will be surprised that every single person on earth struggles with confidence in some way, shape, or form. Yes, I know some people, they seem like they're just born confident. And yeah, definitely some people are more confident than others. But if you really take a look under the hood into people's secret psychological lives, you'll see that even the people who appear to be confident on the surface are deep down very self conscious and afraid of what other people think of them. They're afraid that they're not good enough, that they don't deserve happiness and well being. And even if you appear confident on the surface, you'll see that deep down many people are still struggling. All right, so if you can learn how to build confidence, this actually helps you very practically with getting what you want in life, as I mentioned. And this is like not something that is a quick fix solution. This is very important. There's not like a little shift that you can make in your life that will allow you to automatically become more confident. There's many YouTube videos out there where it'll just be like, 10 tips for increasing your confidence. But what I've found is that confidence is a very deep problem that stems from a wide variety of different causes. Hey, welcome. So, confidence is something that stems from a wide variety of different causes. So, if you're struggling with your confidence, imagine it's like you have a rotting tree. So, if your life is like a tree, the roots down all the way at the bottom are all rotting. So, there's many, many different factors that prevent you from being confident. It's not just one thing. At the core principle is you're not living in alignment with your true self. And this is a very vague sentiment. Okay, what does that mean? I'm not living in alignment with my true self. We're going to go into a lot of detail, and I have a lot of points here prepared where we're going to talk about exactly what that means, that you're not living in alignment with your true self. But there's actually many factors that affect your confidence. The first one, mainly, is that you don't have an inspiring vision for where your life is going in the long term. This is so key. If you take anything away from this video here, remember that confidence is not about your position in your life. It's about your trajectory. It's not about where you are now. Your confidence is not about your current life situation. It's about where you're going. Your confidence is not about who you are, it's about who you are becoming. So, wherever you're focusing your attention on will start to affect who you're being as a person. So, I'll tell you a story. When I was a teenager, I struggled with being confident in social situations, just like most teenagers. I felt socially awkward. I didn't know how to be charming and charismatic. I didn't know how to just relax and be myself in social situations. And I found that whenever I would go out to parties and talk to girls, I just was awkward and I didn't know what to say. I felt like I had to put on a show or I had to be someone that I'm not. And what I discovered was that the core reason why I wasn't confident was because deep down in my subconscious mind, which means my body, deep in my body, I felt that I really didn't have anything to be confident about. And the core thing was that I had no inspiring vision that I was growing towards. So, increasing it in order to increase your confidence, what you can do is you can create an inspiring life vision for yourself where you're looking 10 years in advance and you're asking yourself, what kind of life do I want to create for myself? If you have a giant ambitious vision for your life, like I'm going to become a shining example of a human being, I'm going to create a plan for myself where I can implement daily habits that are going to compound over a long period of time. I'm not going to get results in 2 months from now. I'm not going to get results in 6 months from now, but I'm looking in the long term. I'm looking 10, 20 years in advance. I'm going to install tiny little habits like meditation or like eating healthy or like reading nonfiction personal development books. These tiny little habits, these are going to compound over 5, 10 years. So you need to have this long-term vision. Human beings suck at having long-term visions. We're usually only looking for how we can get a little hit of pleasure for tonight or how we can pay the bills next week or the maximum that people look ahead in their lives is 1 to 2 months in advance, maybe at best 6 months to a year in advance. But most people are not able to look 10 years in advance, 20 years in advance, 30 years in advance. You really need to ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to live? How do I want my life to be 25 years from now? And get detailed about it, get specific. Don't worry about the how to yet. Whenever you're creating an inspiring, passionate vision for your future, this is the key puzzle piece that's going to boost your confidence. You need to first ask yourself, what do I want? And don't worry about how to. This is very important because most of us don't even allow ourselves to dream and to be authentic and to be honest with ourselves. What do I actually want in my life? What life circumstance will make me happy? How do I want to contribute to the world? What kind of skills do I want to build? What kind of person do I want to be? What kind of friends do I want to have? What kind of impact do I want to have on my community and on the world? You need to really give yourself some time with a journal where you actually take out a journal, leave your house, go to the park, or eliminate distractions and just sit with yourself and write at the top of that journal page, what do I want out of my life 20 years from now? What's my ideal life situation? And give yourself the freedom to dream. Don't be conservative. Don't say, "Well, I don't know how to get what I want." So for example, let's say your mind is telling you, or your heart, even better, is telling you, "Well, I want to live in the Caribbean and I want to go scuba diving and I want to explore the lush jungle of Costa Rica. I want to study the different species of animals." Okay, if your heart is telling you that, what'll happen is your mind will say, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to get the money for that. That doesn't seem practical. That doesn't seem realistic. I don't think that's even possible. How am I going to get that? This is very important. Do not worry about how to before you've actually selected your target. This is very, very, very important. First, you need to select your target, what you want, and then you will figure out how to on the way. Your mind is like a heat seeking missile. It needs to just pick a target. And then once the target is locked in, the missile will find out the best path for how to hit its goal. This is from Maxwell Maltz's book, Psycho-Cybernetics. Very important personal development principle, extremely important. I'm going to say it again. You need to focus on what you want, the actual goal, 10, 20 years in advance, maybe even 5 years in advance. Focus on the end result. How will my life look once everything I want to be created is created? When I'm being my authentic self, when I'm expressing myself authentically in whatever way excites me the most, follow your excitement. Let yourself be like a little kid. Be excited when you're picking your goal. Am I playing music? Am I playing with cool technology? Am I swimming in the ocean? Am I hanging out with my wife or my family? Am I going zip lining or rock climbing? Am I doing interior design? Am I competing at the Olympics? Whatever's the thing that just excites your inner child the most, you want to go for that. That's your vision. That's like the signal from God, you could say, or from your source, that this is the correct life vision for you. This is the life vision that will bring you the most happiness and success. I have a video on my channel called How to Get Clear About What Your Heart Authentically Wants. We talked about that recently. So you want to actually give yourself lots of time to contemplate and ask yourself, what is my life vision that is in alignment with my heart? What gets me excited? What makes me feel happy and free like a little kid? Don't worry about how to. It's not about how to get there. It's not about, oh, but I can't afford it. Or it's not practical, or what's my family going to think, or I don't know if my friends are going to accept me. You don't worry about that. We'll figure that out after. First, you need to actually have a target, because the reality is that 99% of people don't even allow themselves to dream because the thought of how to blocks them. So 99% of people, they don't realize that their mind is a heat-seeking missile, and they're not giving it a target to focus on. Instead, they're focusing on all the reasons why they can't have what they want. Oh, well, that's not practical. That's not realistic. Oh, I can't afford that. Well, the technology hasn't been invented yet for that. So, well, that's not a realistic plan. So you're focusing your heat-seeking missile of a mind on all the things that all the reasons why you can't have what you want. So I'm telling you to reverse that. Focus on what you want and stay there. I'm going to take a drink of water. All right. So once you have this clear vision for what you want your life to be, you need to really realize that your life is not going to go on very long. Okay. You're going to be dead soon. Soon you'll be dead and buried 6 feet underneath the ground. So every single day, you need to actually remind yourself, okay, so I'm going to die soon. What is that thing that I want to actually accomplish with my life? What's that thing I actually want to create? Because soon I'll be dead. My life isn't as long as I think it is. I don't have the luxury of waiting around and preparing and hoping and dreaming and saying, oh, maybe tomorrow. No, you don't have the luxury of maybe tomorrow. You're going to be dead soon. So you need to, today, you need to get clear about what do I want from my life? What is going to make me feel like my life was worth it? So that when you're getting older and your skin is wrinkly and your hair is gray and your organs are starting to shut down and you can't walk anymore, you need to be able to look back on your life and tell yourself, well, I really gave it my all. I really gave it my best shot. I didn't waste any time. Every single day, I lived like it was my last day. I really gave it my all. I wasn't paralyzed by fear of what other people will think of me, or fear that I'm not good enough, or fear that it's not possible, or fear of failure, fear of what my family's going to think of me. I wasn't paralyzed by those things because I realized that I can't bring my family to the grave with me. I can't when I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to worry about all those times that I failed. All I'm going to think about is how hard did I try? Did I give it my all, or did I just did I live a deep life, or did I live a shallow life where I was afraid to penetrate life deeply? I was just kind of like tickling the surface because I didn't want to take my life seriously. So, very important for you. Your number one priority in your life should be clarifying your vision for your future. Okay. I have a whole course that's going to be on my website very soon. It's already made. It's how to get clear about your life purpose in 7 days. So check that out. I also have tons of free videos on my channel for how to actually do that. All right. Once you're clear about your vision, you're going to start to feel like there's a freeing up of your energy. You're going to start to feel excited and motivated, because I know right now you're struggling with motivation and energy. You don't feel motivated to actually do the things you know you need to do. You don't feel like you're able to do them. You don't feel like you have the energy to do it. You just feel like you always get sucked back into your old patterns. And even if you get motivated to do it for one day, the next day you get tired again, or you don't feel inspired. You don't feel motivated to do the things that you know you need to be doing in order to move your life to the next level. So when you have this inspiring vision for your future and you're focusing on it, you can write it out in your journal. Spend an hour writing about the best case scenario of, if my life goes best case scenario and I have all the money that I need, and let's say I win the lottery, or that I get mailed $10,000 a month from a mysterious source and I don't know where it's coming from. If money was solved for me, what's my ideal life scenario? How does it look? How does it feel? How does it smell? How does it taste? Actually put yourself into the details of your ideal life scenario. Where are you living? How are you giving your life energy? How are you helping the world? What are you doing with your life energy? Where's it going? What kind of projects are you involved in? What kind of service are you providing to humanity? This is key. How are you impacting other people's lives practically? Who are you helping? And what are you helping them with? This is stuff you need to journal about for hours, 1 hour a day. You should spend the entire week, 1 hour a day, getting clear, crystal clear, crystal clear about your life vision. Don't worry about how to. Give yourself the money already. Give yourself the resources and the means already. Don't worry about the means, worry about the destination. This is so important. Once you're focusing on this clear, inspiring vision, how to be aware all the time. We'll talk about that at the end. Stick around to the end. Once you're clear about this inspiring vision, you'll feel like your energy is freed up, and all of a sudden you're going to start to feel more confident. And that's what we're talking about here in this video. So, when I was a teenager and I had no vision for my life, I didn't feel confident in social situations. However, when I started getting onto the path of self mastery, I started watching videos from this channel called actualize.org. And he gave me this clear plan of like, okay, I'm going to become the best version of myself by gradually implementing habits for the long term. It's not a short term personal development solution. It's a long term 10, 20, 30-year solution that requires tiny little investments on a daily basis that compound and stack up over a long period of time. Guys, I've read over 140 personal development books, nonfiction. That's very rare. Most people haven't done that. The way I've been able to do that was by just when I was a teenager, I had this vision. I was like, okay, I'm going to read one book per month and I'm just going to let that stack up. I'm going to let it compound over time. I'm not interested in getting results next month because by reading one book, okay, I'm going to get some results, but I need to have a broad picture view of life. I need to understand how life works from many different perspectives, which is why I read so many books. So I let that compound over time. And even though I wasn't where I wanted to be, let's say when I was 16, 17 years old, and I was looking towards the future, saying, okay, I'm going to let my reading habit compound over time, over 10, 20 years, so that by the time I'm 36, I will have read hundreds of books, which is going to make me way more knowledgeable and more valuable to other people. I'm going to have valuable skills that people are going to be willing to pay me for because I'm just going to know how reality works because I studied it. Most people didn't study it. I did. I'm letting that skill compound over time. It's a long term investment that I'm making. So even when I was 17 and I had only read two books because I had just started with my vision, still I was able to be confident because even though, yeah, in my goal is to read 200 books, but I only read two, that's fine. Because remember, confidence is not about your position, it's about your trajectory. It's not about where you are, it's about where you're pointed, where you're facing. So my attention was pointed to the future of, okay, so I'm going to become an amazing human being. I'm having all of these habits, my meditation habit, my exercise habit, my reading habit, my eating healthy food habit, my focusing on my vision habit, my coaching habit, whatever it is. These habits, I'm going to let them compound over time. And this is what gave me confidence in these social situations when I would go to a party and I'd go to talk to a girl, for example. I would feel in the core of my being like I have a promising future. That's the key to confidence right there is do you feel like you have a promising future? Are you excited about where your life is going? That's the key right there. That's difficult. That's difficult. That takes work. That takes effort. You don't just get that off the street or you don't get that by accident. You have to actually do the practices that are required to create a long-term strategy for yourself. This is what we're helping you to do here on this channel. I have a lot of videos about that. So once you have this clear vision, I want you to connect to it every morning and every night. Should be something you're reprogramming your subconscious mind with by thinking about it day and night. In the morning when you wake up, remind yourself, okay, what's my vision? What's the thing that I want to create in my life? What's my goal? What am I shooting towards? And then very simply, it's actually a lot easier to do this than it sounds, but you can reverse engineer some habits that you need in order to reach your vision. So, okay, so go out into the future and say to yourself, okay, so I want to be an inspiring writer. Let's say I want to be a novelist. I want to write many fiction books that help to inspire humanity because that's what excites me the most. I love writing cool and interesting characters. Okay, great. So put yourself in that future scenario where you already are a successful writer and you have many books published and you're getting paid for your writing. Put yourself in that future scenario where your money is handled and you're getting paid from your writing. Now you need to ask yourself, what skills does this future version of me have that the current version of me doesn't have? And brainstorm it. What skills? So, for example, okay, so I'm lacking writing skills. I'm just not good at writing. And you can get more specific. You can say, well, I'm not good at character development. The future version of me, already is a successful novelist, he has awesome character development. He's able to create compelling characters in his novels, but the current version of me isn't able to do that. So you'd write that down. Okay, that's one skill. What about another skill? Well, okay, so marketing, how to get my novel into the eyes of the public. He doesn't have I currently don't know how to do that, but the future version of me who's already successful does know how to do that. Okay. Now, another skill you can brainstorm. Idea generation. That's very important when you're a novelist, just giving yourself time to just generate new ideas. Okay, great. That's a third skill. A fourth skill could be working with editors. Okay, that's another skill you'd write down. A fifth skill could be working with illustrators to create your covers. Okay, so that'd be a fifth skill. So we've just generated 5 skills, and then you have to think about your skills in your personal life as well. If you want to be a successful novelist, then you have to take care of your health as well so that your brain functions properly, so that you have energy to spend all day writing your books. Okay, so what skills does the future version of me have that the current version of me doesn't have? Perhaps meditation is one of them, so that I can be calm and clear, so that I can focus 100% on my writing. Another skill might be your focusing skills, being able to stay on task, doing deep work, not getting distracted, but just sitting and writing for 2 hours straight. Maybe the current version of you can't do that, but the future version of you needs to be able to do that in order to succeed. Think about your diet. Think about your exercise habits. Think about your morning routine. What's the morning routine of your future successful self? And what's the night routine of your future successful self? How's your day structured? Try to live an ideal day in your future self's shoes and really feel it viscerally. Actually put yourself in those shoes. Actually be there. Okay? So now that you've generated this list of skills, for that, these skills are the things that will bridge the gap between who you are now and who you want to be. So you look into the future 20 years and you brainstorm the missing skills that the future version of you has that the current version of you doesn't have. And then now you have this list of skills. There's like 7 skills. We talked about writing skills, character development, focusing skills, meditation skills, idea generation, working with editors, marketing skills. We have all these skills. Now, for each one of those skills, I want you to brainstorm 3 habits or 3 practical things that you can actually put into your schedule that will allow you to build that skill. As a side point, guys, it's very important. Our society, our culture is trying to brainwash you with the idea that you can succeed in your life without actually mastering something, without actually building your skills consistently over a long period of time, without actually going through the difficult work that is required to become amazing in your field. Our culture wants to brainwash you with this quick fix mentality. That's not going to work. So you have this list of skills. Now, for each skill, you want to come up with 3 action steps for how you can work on building that skill today. So let's go through practical examples. Okay, so first, character development skills. How do I build my character development skills? And then you want to think about it. You want to think, okay, so for 30 minutes per week, I'm going to create new characters and create unique character arcs for each character. Of course, guys, this doesn't just apply to writing. This applies to any life purpose. So just I'm using writing as an example, becoming a successful novelist. This works with creating YouTube videos. This works with singing. This works with music. We're using the same principle. We're just using the example of writing right now, okay? So you have this list of skills that you need to bridge the gap between your current self and your ideal self. Then for each skill, you come up with 3 action steps for how you can build that skill. So character development, for example, 3 action steps to build your character development skills is you can develop new characters for 30 minutes a week or for 1 hour per week. You can actually sit down, put it into your schedule, set a reminder on your phone and say, okay, now it's character development time. And for 1 hour, per week, you're going to develop new characters and you're going to come up with their arc, etc. You're going to just focus on that one thing for 1 hour per week. What's a second action step? How to develop your character development skills? You can buy a book about character development that was written by a famous novelist, someone you look up to, and read it. Go on Amazon. What are the best books for character development? Buy the book, read it. Okay, that's a practical thing. You can actually put that into your calendar. Number 3, what's a third action step in order to build your character development skills? Maybe there's a course online somewhere. Maybe there's a novelist who created a course, how to create compelling characters in 30 days, and it's an online course. Do some research and actually buy the course and take it. Okay. So see how what we're doing is we're going from this is what we're doing. We're going from the abstract of, okay, this is my vision for my life. This is my ideal life scenario. And we're boiling that down into the skills that I need in order to bridge the gap to actually make it real. Okay. And then for each skill, we're boiling that down into 3 action steps that you can actually put into your calendar starting today. And you can hammer away at those action steps for a long period of time, for a whole year. If you let that compound over time, you'll be able to achieve your dreams. This is very rare. No one on the internet is going to tell you about this because everyone's trying to tell you that there's like some shortcut in order to achieve your dreams. There's like a quick fix. There's like a secret strategy. There is no secret strategy. The secret strategy is that You need to actually practice improving your skills so that you can get paid for doing what you actually love. This is a non-negotiable. You have to do what you love in your life. Otherwise, you're going to not love your life. Do you want to love your life or do you want to hate your life? Which one do you want? It's non-negotiable. You have to do what you love because otherwise you're going to hate your life and then you're going to regret it and you're going to want to die every single day. So we don't want that. We want you to create a life that you love. This is what I'm showing you how to do practically. So you have that list of skills. Let's try with another skill, for example. So let's say marketing skills. How do I market my novels? Okay, so practically, how do I market my novels? Okay, so maybe I can go to a seminar for novelists where the whole seminar is about marketing. I'm sure there's a seminar out there. Yeah, it might take some hard work. You may have to book a plane ticket. You may have to actually fly out to the seminar. You may have to book a hotel. You may have to actually carve out a chunk of your calendar. You may have to take some time off work, but we're talking about achieving your dreams here. So it requires practical action steps. You may have to actually show up to a seminar about marketing your novels. Okay, that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you can watch YouTube videos for 30 minutes per week, in a focused manner, not just in this like, scrolling through YouTube aimlessly, but in a very focused manner for 30 minutes per week. You're researching and studying how to market my novels. Again, guys, this applies to music. This applies to YouTube videos. This applies to creating a charity organization. It's just the same principles. The third action step might be to join a writer's guild. There might be a writer's club in a city near you. Go find it, go Google search, find it, go show up and actually buy a membership, or maybe it's free. Join the Writers Guild and hang out with other writers. Pick their brain. Do that for 1 hour per week. And let that compound over a year. Hang out with writers at the Writers Guild every week for an hour for an entire year. So see how that's going to help you to bridge the gap between the version of you want to be and the version you are now. The version you are now doesn't have the skills that you need. But the version who you want to be already has those skills. So in order to bridge the gap, you need to get clear about what are those skills that the version of me, the ideal version of me has that I don't have. And then what are 3 action steps for each skill that I can actually put it into my calendar and actually do it. I can actually it's very easy. It's very clear. Like, okay, it's in my calendar, 1 hour per week, go to the Writers Guild. Okay, great. I'm going to achieve my life purpose because I have these practical action steps. People suck at taking the abstract and boiling it down to the concrete. This is what we're doing right now. This is what's required for achieving an ambitious vision in your life. You've got to take the abstract, you got to boil it down into the concrete. Okay, so you can repeat that process for every single skill that you have. Now you have tangible action steps that you can actually put into your calendar for how to achieve your life purpose. You know how to build your marketing skills. You know how to build your character development skills. You know how to build your focus skills, for example. How do you build your focus skills? 3 action steps. Well, maybe I can buy a book and read it about how to improve my focus. I can actually spend 1 hour per day focusing, can actually build my focus. Maybe I can do some kind of meditation practice that helps me improve my focus. And I can do that for 20 minutes per day. See? So improving your focus, see, that's an abstract. No, people don't know how to do that. But we've taken the abstract and we've boiled it down into the concrete. See, I can actually do that. Okay. So Adam, what does all this have to do with confidence? Like I said in the beginning, if you don't know how to achieve your goals in your life, if you're not going after your dreams, if you don't have a clear vision for your life and you're not actually going after it every single day by implementing these tangible action steps that we've just created, then you're not going to have any confidence in your life. It's physically impossible. It's against the laws of physics to have deep confidence. I'm talking about deep confidence that's actually coming from your being. I'm not talking about a veneer of confidence or acting confident. I'm talking about actually being confident. That's not possible unless your life is in alignment with your heart and with your dreams. You're actually going after the thing it is that you want in your life. And I've spoken about that a lot in other videos. All right. Okay. So, what is the next principle for confidence? How to actually be confident so that you can go after what you want in your life, in your relationships, your career, your money situation, so that other people like you, you're charismatic and cool and suave, etc. How do you actually be confident? The second principle I have for you, principle number one, was have a clear vision for your life and actually go after it. That was the most important. Number two is start by sucking. So, how do you build confidence in any domain? Well, you have to build competence. Competence usually creates confidence. If you feel like you're competent in dating, if you feel like you're competent in sex, then you're going to feel a lot more confident asking a girl out because you actually know how to lead the interaction forward. You know how to create a intimate experience. So competence creates confidence. So you have to actually get good at the thing. How do you get good at a thing? This is, see, we're going deep into the fundamentals here. This is so important. This is such a core principle of my entire philosophy of personal development. How do you get good at a thing? You start by sucking and by being willing to take the fall. You have to start with the white belt. You have to have the beginner's mind. So let's use the example of martial arts. How do you get good at martial arts? Let's say jujitsu, or let's do wrestling because I was actually a wrestler. How do you get good at wrestling? Well, you show up and you have no clue what to do, and you get your ass kicked. My wrestling coach would beat the crap out of me. He would just like grab my head and just smash it into his head. This guy's biceps are like this big, and he would just beat the crap out of me, basically. And that's how I got better at wrestling, by getting the crap beat out of me. And the way you get better is by just drilling, making mistakes and just drilling. Every single time you fall off your bike, you just have to get back on and you just drill. So the mastery process is about falling in love with the plateau. So the mastery curve basically is that whenever you're trying to learn any new skill, so I'm talking about the book Mastery by George Leonard. Whenever you're learning any new skill, there's little spurts of improvement followed by a long plateau. And then there's a little spurt of improvement followed by a long plateau where you don't see any improvement at all. Okay? In life, you need to be practicing even when you're not improving. You practice for practice's sake. You don't practice so that you can always get better. You're not always going to keep getting better. You need to practice even when you're not getting better. Sometimes I go to the gym, for example, and I've been on the same weight for 2 months. I can't get past this one weight threshold in my bench press or in my deadlift. It's just the same weight. So a lot of people would get discouraged. They say, well, I'm not building muscle. I'm not getting stronger, so I'm going to quit. That's the beginner's mindset. Or what they'll do is they'll either quit, they'll try a different exercise, or they'll try to find some hack, some shortcut, like, oh, maybe I need some creatine. or maybe I need to take steroids, or maybe I need to eat more meat, or whatever it is. So you're looking for a hack. This is the opposite of the mastery process. In order to get good at something in your life, in order to master, you need to just be willing to show up day in, day out, even if you don't see improvements. You need to keep showing up to actually do the practice. This is true for making YouTube videos. This is true for doing origami or painting or singing or whatever it is. You need to continually practice. You need to keep playing your scales on the guitar, even if you're not improving. This is how you get good at anything. This is how you gain confidence in yourself, by having something in your life that you're mastering, something you're actually getting good at, because competence creates confidence. You can create competence in every single domain in your life. If you suck at dating, okay, join the club. Most people do. I did. I had to actually drill myself in order to get better. I had to actually go out and talk to new people. I had to build my social skills by starting off by embarrassing myself. Start by sucking. Go up to someone and realize that you don't know how to socialize and just say, "Oh, hi. Nice shirt. Where'd you get it from? What's your name?" Right? You need to start by actually being awkward, actually sucking, not knowing what to do. And then you just do that consistently. You go up to 5 people per week, and you'll get used to it over time. You get better and better over time. So actually, like, by the end of this video, I want you to write down what's one thing you're going to commit to mastering. And in order to master it, you need a couple things. You need, number one, you need a teacher. So go read a book or go find a real life teacher. Actually find someone who's going to actually teach you how to get better. Number two, you need a practice. You need a discipline that you actually do every single week or multiple times per week. And you continually show up, rain or shine. Number three, you need to surrender to the process. You need to surrender to the fact that you suck. You need to just surrender to the discipline of your teacher. You're going to want to take shortcuts. You're going to want to make it easier and make it simpler. Don't give in to that urge. Just surrender to the actual protocol. If you find a good teacher, you need to actually surrender to his instructions. Okay. Number four, you need intentionality. You need to have the intention to actually improve. You need to have a reason why you're mastering this skill. That's what we just talked about for the first half of this live stream. The reason why, the clear vision. Why am I improving my skills? Why am I mastering this thing at all? You need to connect to your why. It's very important. Intentionality. And what was number five? Number five is you're going to need energy as well. I forgot number five. It's all right. I can check my notes, but that would not be necessary. So in another video, we'll talk about number five. Okay. So in order to do the mastery process, you need to be gradually leaning out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm leaning out of my comfort zone. These live streams, they're scary. If you've, I don't know if you've ever done a live stream, but they just toss you into the deep end. They're just like, okay, you're live. Get in there. Go start performing. I'm like, what? I don't get to do multiple takes. Like, nope. If you go back and watch the replay of this live stream, you can get to see the intro. I'm like, I don't even know if it's working. I don't know what's going on. I'm checking my microphone. I'm tripping over my words, but you just got to get in there. You got to lean out of your comfort zone. Do things you wouldn't normally do. I don't normally do these live streams, but I'm going to start doing them once per week, or at least that's my goal. That's what I have on my goal sheet right here, my vision. It's all typed out. I'm not going to show it to you because it's personal to me, But I have right there one live stream every 2 weeks. So that's what we're doing right now. This requires a leaning out of your comfort zone.